Hello and welcome to the Batcave, your secret hideout for Brawl gameplay and deck tech videos. I'm your host, BlindBat8719. On today's video, I'm playing at friend's request to build a Ludevic Necrogenius deck, Olag Ludevic's Hubris deck. Before I go over the deck real quick, a couple asks of my audience. If you can click the subscribe button down below, help me grow my channel, be greatly appreciated. And if you like today's deck list, please share it with your friends. Now, as I was saying before, I have a good personal friend of mine asked me to build a blue-black deck. And I built Ludevic a couple different ways. I built him as an aggro deck and as a control deck. And I'll leave a link to the controlled list down below in the comments in the doobly-doo. I decided to go with the aggro version because I thought it'd be something more different and or more fun to play with. So Ludevic Necrogenius costs blue-black for a 2/3 legendary creature, human wizard. Whenever he enters the battlefield or attacks your Mila card, then I can pay X blue-blue-black-black to exile X creature cards from my graveyard and transform Ludevic. X can't be 0, and I can only use it as a sorcery. That's you can't know no combat tricks with this one. In order to get Olag, Ludevic's Hubris, and then as the creature transforms into Olag, it becomes a copy of a creature card exiled with it, except its name is Olag. It's a 4/4, and it's a legendary blue-black zombie in addition to other colors and types. And then I put a number of 1/1 counters on Olag equal to the number of creature cards exiled with it. Most of the time I find when I use the Olag transformation, I'm only just going to pay 1. Because that turns into a 5/5 regardless, which is still pretty good. And then it has the, whatever the best, usually some evasive ability with it. Now, as I said, because this is an aggro deck, to me the curve is really important, so that's kind of how I want to describe the deck this time around in terms of the pile. So first are my 1-drops we have here, starting with Silver Raven, Ecstatic Awakener, and Unwilling Ingredient. Silver Raven has flying as well, and Unwilling Ingredient has menace, so they both have evasion, which is why they're in here. Silver Raven lets me scry one, which became very helpful, and Unwilling Ingredient, if I don't exile it to Ludevic for the menace, I can use it later on to draw a card. Ecstatic Awakener is just a very powerful card in Limited right now, and I thought that might translate really well into Brawl. So this is one, if you think I'm wrong on it, you can definitely cut this for something else. But I think this is definitely a card that can let me get aggressive early on, so I wanted to play with it. And then I have Blood Chief's Thirst as my 1-drop removal spell, or 1-cost removal spell. If it's something cheap, it costs 1. Otherwise, it's going to cost me 4 mana to destroy a creature or planeswalker. And that's one of the big things with aggro decks that I found is they're very much curve important or curve centric. So I tried to make sure there was very few cards that I want to cast on turn 2. So Blood Chief's Thirst is an example, so I'm going to cast on turns either 1 or 4. The only exception to my that rule I just said is Jadar, Ghoulcaller of Nephalia. I think this is a very powerful and aggressive card, and it's the only thing at 2 that I would rather cast over Ludevic. And I just think this card is really wonderful, and I'm trying to take a little bit of use of the decay tokens. But again, the idea of on empty board, it's 3 damage a turn, I think is wonderful. And then the other 2 drops are Feed the Swarm, Infernal Grasp, and Power Word Kill. All of them are removal spells. They all cost 2, but I'm not going to cast them on turn 2. So it's fine that they have a cheaper cost. But as I was saying about the curve, since these aren't things I want to be casting on turn 2, it's fine that they cost 2. 3 drops I have a ton of for the most part. In terms of some creatures here, Malevolent Hermit. This one I thought would be an interesting way of yes, technically he's 2, but I'm treating him as a 3-drop because I want to use him for his ability to counter a non-creature spell. The idea I have here is I want to have Ludevic out on 2, and then I play out a Malevolent Hermit. This way, when I go to attack with Ludevic, if my opponent tries to kill him, I have the Hermit around to protect him. So this is why I consider the Malevolent Hermit a 3-drop. And then later on, I can always pay the Disturb cost to get a 2/2 flyer as well. Frost Trickster, again, is a 3-drop creature that interacts with my opponent's board. It taps down a creature my opponent has, so Ludevic can attack through successfully. And then if it does die, it has Flying, which is an evasive ability that I would want Olag to get when I do transform Ludevic. So that's why that's in the deck. Soul Knife Spy is an aggressive 3/2 body that lets me draw cards whenever it deals combat damage. While it doesn't have evasion, the drawing card aspect I think is really useful to have. That's why I thought it'd be something that I would want my Olag to have. So it's in the deck. And then Grazilax, Effluent Scholar, is another version of Soul Knife Spy, a legendary version. But what's nice too is that if I attack and an unfavorable block happens for me, I can always bounce the creature back to my hand. Again, I think that just being a 3-drop, 3/2 with a card draw ability, I think is really great, and a thing I would want Olag to have. Graveyard Trespasser, another aggressive creature. I thought this time trying out a ward effect would be useful to give Ludevic a little more protection, Olag a little more protection. So I thought that would be something useful to try. Now this will be Graveyard Trespasser in the graveyard, so I will never, so even if I exile this, it will never flip over to become a 4/4 Graveyard Glutton with a +1/+1 counter. That's just not how it works with the transform ability. But again, I think this is something that would be, again, it's a 3-drop 3/3 with relevant abilities that I thought would be fun to play with. Morbid Opportunist is kind of something I want a little more creature-based card draw that, you know, even if I get to a 5/5 version of this, they block, I get to draw a card now. So I think Morbid Opportunist is a fun one to try out with a Ulag. No Way Out, I feel, with being able to make my opponent discard some cards and then get a zombie token, that kind of plays up the aggressiveness a bit because my opponent is down 2 cards and I get half a card by having another attacker on my side of the field. Soul Shatter to get rid of a creature or planeswalker on my opponent's side of the field that I want to get rid of. Nighthawk Scavenger is a great creature that Flying Death Touch as lifelink on his own is great, and then if I'm able to transform Olag into a bigger version of this, that's awesome. Replicating Ring, Skyclave Relic, and the Celestis are my mana rocks. This deck does not play Arcane Signet because, again, I'm trying to play Ludevic on 2. I want to minimize the amount of cards that give me the decision of, do I play Ludevic or something else on 2? So that's why I swapped out Arcane Signet for the Skyclave Relic. And then I found the Celestis to be one of my new favorite cards from the set, as if you need to draw the card, you can always activate it. But if you're just laying back or whatnot, or your opponent doesn't do anything, you're able to now flip it and draw a card. I think is pretty awesome. Now, in terms of 4-drops, you see Thieving Skydiver here as a 2-drop, but really I want to be using him for his ability most of the time. So I'm hoping to steal an Arcade Signet. That's why he's at 2. Otherwise, I move him up to being a 5-drop to steal a 3-cost artifact. Again, also what's great about him too is that if he does die, he has flying. That's a relevant evasive ability that I would want Olag to get. Inscription of Insight I consider as a bounce spell for the most part for me. It's a temple-based thing that I play Ludevic on 2. Maybe I can't attack on 3, turn 4. I'm able to use this, bounce 2 of their blockers, and I'm able to swing through successfully with Ludevic. Worst case, I can always draw 2 instead with this card, and then if ultimately I would love to kick it and get all 3 modes. Hailstorm Valkyrie is something that I'm playing mostly for the abilities to give Olag. It's an okay card. I am playing Snow in the deck. And I think the idea that I can get an Olag that's now a 5/5 flying trampler that I can pump +2/+2 with the double Snow, I think this is something that's worth trying out with Olag. It's by itself, it's okay, but this is one of the cards I'd rather see milled than maybe on my side of the field. Crippling Fear to hopefully be a little bit of a one-sided board wipe if I need to. Turgid God of Fright is in the 4 slot because I really want to be playing Turgid's Lantern. I feel like being aggressive, and I'm trying to get my opponent's life total low, I more likely will want to be playing the Lantern than I would the actual creature, because while I don't really have a ton of ways of making my opponent sacrifice or discard, I have 1 or 2 options of making it happen, but not a lot. So I think the idea of the constant drain of 3 life or making them lose resources is worthwhile from the 4-drop slot. And then the Meat Hook Massacre is a card, again, I want to try to make it more of a one-sided board. I'm hoping to my opponent has some smaller stuff that I can maybe just use X equal to 2 to wipe out the way and have Ludevic swing in. That's kind of the goal. Otherwise, I'd have cast it for a higher slot on the curve. For 5-drops, Tainted Adversary. Again, you're going to see the converted 2 mana cost of the mana value on the top right-hand corner. It says it's a 2-drop, but really I want to be casting on 5 so I can get him plus 2 more zombies out. And so that's why this is where I want to cast him more as a 5-drop. In a pinch, if I need to, I'll cast him as a 2-drop, but really he's here as a 5-drop for me. Graven Lore to kind of refill the hand a little bit at 5. And then Imarith Desert Doom. This is just a great attacking beater. Draws my hand. He's just an amazing card. And if somehow my opponent deals with him, I would love to have my Olag turn into him as well. And then moving over onto the 6th spot in my land, 6-drop spot, Nullpriest of Oblivion. Again, this is another card it costs 2, but really I want to be casting it for 6 ultimately, as if, I can bring something back from my graveyard that I haven't exiled yet. And it also has relevant abilities of Menace and Lifelink, which would be great for Olag to get at some point. Blood on the Snow is just a nice removal spell. I could, maybe things go sideways for me, or I'm not getting the aggressive start, or my opponent has Planeswalkers. I can always just cast this to kind of hopefully level out the playing field and get something back. Burning Rune Demon, I haven't played with him a lot lately. And as of being aggressive, I wanted to have something on curve. A 6/6 for 6 is totally on curve. He has flying, which is great for Olag at some point. And I get to search for 2 cards. which I think is awesome because one goes in my hand, which is great, and the other one goes to my graveyard. So if I search up 2 creatures, they might, whatever they give me, if Ludevic's out, I now gave myself another option of him to turn into for Olag. So in theory, it's like me getting both cards anyways, which I think is awesome. Then I have Xanathar Guild Kingpin because he's a gold card, and I'm playing these colors, and I figured I want to play some fun gold cards, and Xanathar is, for me, counts as fun. It definitely, but late game, can let me take over my opponent. I can start playing stuff off their deck, which is pretty awesome, so I get to play with their toys. And then if he dies, he's still a great ability to have on Olag. And then Ecstatic Awakening in here as one of my extra lands. I think it's land 23. Oh, I'm sorry, it's land 26. And I'll talk about the lands in a second. But so it's land 26, and also, again, I have a couple small things that, if things, again, go sideways, I'm wanting to cast this maybe for about 3 mana so I can get a 1-drop, a 2-drop, and a 3-drop back into play. So that's why it's in the 6-drop slot here. Again, 7's even better. Now, I was saying, well, I'll talk about the lands really quickly. I'm running 25 lands, 26 if you include Ecstatic Awakening in the deck. Because of the constant milling, I kind of wanted to give myself a little bit of an insurance against milling myself too many lands. So that's why I'm running at least some extra lands in here. So this way, I'm still able to, while aggressive, hit my land drops, swing with Ludevic, and not get my, screw myself over too much with milling my own lands. Basically playing some man lands, Hall of Storm Giants, Eye of the High Tyrant, as well as Faceless Haven to kind of help close out the game if I need to. 7 Snow Islands, 8 Snow Swamps. Fixing, we got the Pathway, the Ice Tunnel, the Shipwreck Marsh, as well as Command Tower. And then Evolving Wilds could be hit or miss. It'd be good on a turn 1 thing, but I think I want to give it a shot. I think I'm playing 25 lands, not the worst thing in the world. I'll let you know in the wrap up whether I'm probably, or the outro, that I'm say cut this for just another coming to play untapped land. I'm also just running Fielded Ruin to blow up whatever I don't want my opponents to have, and I have a Tyrite Sanctum just to grow my Ludevic or my Olag as time goes on. With the deck tech out of the way, let's jump into the arena for some brawls. Alright, this hand I think is fine. I can play Ludevic on 2. I got Frost Strix Attachment down, Nighthawk as well as an option, or No Way Out. Playing against Zerschleisser? Apologies for spelling that wrong. Ashaya, Soul of the Wild is their commander. And these can get out of hand because they basically are another one that they're just going to ramp up, get a huge Ashaya that's really hard to deal with, especially because a lot of... I'm going to play the Black Sword since I usually screw this up. A lot of kill spells say non-target or non-land. So that's where things get kind of tricky because that makes everything a land. So now you need a board wipe to get anything going. So let's get Ludevic out on 2 after they played a Forest. I lose a Hive of the Eye Tyrant. Not too bad. Let's see what we get here. We get a Ramp spell, Werepack Wolf. So Infernal Grasp is nice. Let's play out this, and I would say let's go with the Frost Trickster here. Tap down the Wolf, and let's swing him with Ludevic. Alright, Skyclave Relic goes to the graveyard. This says return of 2 target creatures. So Inscription of Insight's pretty good here. I might wait till they actually get out an Ashaya, so this way I can bounce back the Ashaya, which is the 5-drop, and then Dungeon Map. Okay. That all works out well for me. And then here, just going to swing. Alright, Celestis is gone now. And I'm going to go with a No Way Out, just to make them lose a little bit here. Some card advantage. Especially if if I hit a land, that'd be great. But it gives me an idea of what might be in their hand. Alright, get rid of anything that's like a 5 or a 6-drop, because I want to get a Ashaya out probably next turn. Yeah, Dungeon Map I remember playing in my Venturing deck, which it's not bad. But again, I think the Celestis is the better option for the most part. Alright, there's 5. So now, hopefully they play out Ashaya. Perfect, perfect. There's nothing for 1. Do this. It's a shame I can't kick it, but that's fine. Is it better? That's actually... I'm going to take a moment here. I think bouncing the 2 is the right play. Alternatively, I can play Infernal Grasp with a Nighthawk Scavenger. And that would be the other play I can make here. No, I think bouncing is the one here, because this way then... Return of 2 creatures. I can swing in with everybody. That's really what I want to do here. And then I have 5 So then maybe next turn, I get Field of Ruin. Actually, oh my god, I forgot Field of Ruin. That's a non-basic land. So actually, Field of Ruin will be getting rid of Ashaya next turn, actually. So I think the play next turn will be Field of Ruin plus Nighthawk Scavenger to get rid of the Ashaya. So the decay trigger goes into the graveyard now. I actually don't have anything in my graveyard to actually transform Ludevic, so I can't even consider that as an option right now. But so far the game plan is humming along just fine right here. They discarded 2 lands, so why did they do that? Unless they had that many lands in hand. So there goes Ashaya. That's fine. Field of Ruin. Blue, blue, and we'll probably search for a black source. Alrighty, I guess they see where I was going with that. So, Zerschleisser, thank you very much for the game. Let's go on to the next one. Alright, I like this one. It has a nice little start with 1-drop, 2-drop, and maybe something to get me back, or 3-drop at least. And I also have Meathook Massacre to help out. Playing against Statto, piloting a Siguarda, Champion of Light deck, so it'll probably be a lot of small humans that maybe the Meathook can do some work on. I'm going to keep this one. Alrighty, opponent played off a command tower. I'm going to start by saying hello and leading off with a Eye of the Hive Mind and play out an Unwilling Ingredient. Drew a Feed the Swarm, which will definitely be helpful. Yeah, I would have been grateful in the one game where I lost to the big enchantment that doubles everybody's power. So that's why it's a good reason to have Feed the Swarm in the deck to deal with at least that enchantment. So you only get hit 4 once. Ambitious Farmland, that's a good one to draw some cards. I think that's pretty awesome. And maybe they'll play into the Coven ability a little bit more. So there's their plains. Snow-covered? Snow-covered plains. Alright. Oh, yeah. Misread the fact that this would be a... This should have been the land I led off with, actually. So there goes my turn 2 play. Oh, well. Alright, so playing this out then. Sorry about the misplay there, guys. I got too excited about playing the Wonder. I forgot that this needs to be 2 or more other lands. This really should have been the land I left off with. So that'd be getting Ludevic out on 2. But we'll see how it goes right now. That's again a mistake on my part. But again, I think I could pivot a bit if I need to and make this again a controlling aspect. That might be helpful. I don't think they're going to get rid of the ingredient. If they do, hey, it's nice for me. Ludevic becomes Olog becomes a menacing 5/5. Nothing. Okay. So here I'm going to swing. And then probably play out the Nighthawk Scavenger. Next turn, I'll have 4 mana, 4 lands, so I'll probably play 3 and 2. Okay. Sigurd is something that I'm starting to see a little more frequently. I still don't usually think about playing around it, but I think maybe something to keep in mind if you do see Siguarda or in a human tribal deck, Sigurd probably will pop up because it is a pretty... The flavor text about being protected from god creatures is okay, but the flash and the first strike can be pretty brutal, actually, and it definitely messes up blocks for the most part. Siguarda, alrighty. Yeah, Sigurd's going to come at me because I can't effectively block it. No blocks. And the Ambitious Farmhand might get transformed next turn. Alrighty, so let's see. We're going to probably go with the Swamp. Let's see. If I go with... This is +1/+1 because of Siguarda. I still think my best bet here would be I'll do Skyclave for 3. And then I'll do Feed the Swarm on Sigrid right now. That'll get back my Menace creature. And now the question becomes, do I sit back to block the Siguarda? I don't think, he's not going to, if I attack, I'm not going to attack. Because if I do attack, my opponent will just take the 2, and then I get hit back for 2 on the way back. This way then I can either trade with the Farmhand or I can trade with the Siguarda. Either way is fine, because my feeling is I want to set up if I can do a turn 6 Nullpriest of Oblivion. Or actually even better than that would probably be the Meathook Massacre, because that should be enough to take care of the Siguarda. So I think those are my 2 plays next turn. I'll hold off on the Nullpriest, so I probably will just swing, wipe the board, Fending Ace. Alright, come on, give me more creatures that I can get to this Meathook Massacre. 1 more creature would be nice. I mean, look, I'm going to swing with the Nighthawk anyways and see what we can get out of this. And this way then, join the dance. Alright, alright. That's, I'll take it. I'll take it for right now. Blue Source. I think I'm just going to wait before I play my land, just to make sure I don't forget to play the land. And then I'm just going to swing here. This way, then, the reason why I'm not playing the land is so this way they don't realize there's 4 threats to worry about potentially as opposed to just 3. Play this out. Black, black. I can do X equal to 4. This is great. This way, this will wipe away the whole board. I'll gain a bunch of life. They'll lose a bunch of life. Or something like that. Sure, I'll put all the triggers on the stack. So whenever they lose a creature, I gain a life. Whenever I lose a creature, they lose a life, right? Whenever a creature you control dies, they lose. Alright. So that puts the life total more in my favor now. And then I would say I'll probably go off, if I can, Nullpriest of Oblivion into Nighthawk Scavenger, as I think that's still the better play, and I'll hold off. Oh, okay. They want to get in with that. I forgot, this is kind of, because this is all creature types, this would also get pumped from Siguarda, so that's actually a really good inclusion in the deck. And then it has the Vigilance, so they might still play this and then play a blocker, I guess? Because I don't think I'm white. I mean, they could play a creature out. Alright. Alright, let me do some math real quick because I just do the Celestis. So I do 3 here. That leaves me, if I do 3, that leaves me with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Not enough. So I think the Celestis will have to wait. Let's go for the kick here. And we'll bring back the Nighthawk. So now I have 5 life I'll be gaining a turn and 2 evasive creatures. They could play out the Join the Dance, in which case Nullpriest doesn't do as well, but I would probably still swing in anyways. And if that's the case, I'll probably try to set it up. I might think about changing my settings for that I get to order combat damage, because there are some situations where that's definitely, or I would want to make sure again I assign 1. But I think the game is good enough with lethal damage that I could do 1 and 1. Oh, I think there's a Death Touch. No, never mind. This is a fun one. Alright, so creatures are getting big now. Alright, and I got a Blood on the Snow as a backup plan. Alright. I can do this to play me? I need 4. So I have the 4 here. 1, 2. So if I do 3 for the Celestis, that leaves me with mana left over. So yeah, we'll do that. Because what I can do, if I want to use Hive of the Eye Tyrant so I can get rid of Join the Dance. And then with Blood on the Snow on my side, I have whatever creatures they play out, it's totally fine, as I can just kill them all again. So yeah, I think so. The play next turn will probably actually be the same thing unless my opponent goes really insane with the creatures. Alrighty. A 6/6 Siguarda is pretty scary. I still have the Unwilling Ingredient I can always use to draw me a card next turn. And then that way, too, actually, if I have a land I draw, oh, it's a 6/4 lifelinker. That's going to make things really annoying, actually. Grazalith is nice. It does let me draw a bunch of cards. It lets me draw 2 cards. Yeah, I think that's worth it. And I still have... So I have a couple options here. I could hang back. I already cast the 1 spell. But I think that swinging in with the Tyrant and drawing the extra cards can be worth it. Because this has Menace, this has Flying, and they're not going to want to hit this. Let's get rid of Sigurd. Because I'm gaining 5, so I'm going to lose 7 next turn. And they're also taking 7. So we're kind of evening up here a little bit, and I get to draw. Ah, dang, I keep thinking it's 1 per creature. Never mind then. Alright. Okay, so that may not have been the right... Ah, dang it. Okay, no worries. It's still going to be fine. Actually, it's funny actually, I'm looking at the Meat Hook Massacre right now. Again, creatures I die, they lose a life. So, worst case, if I swing with the 3 of these guys, if they take that's 7? That's 7 damage. If they decide to take the 7 and just try to risk it, which the Interpreted Adversary makes it really hard to do that, actually. But I would say if they were, for some reason, just to take the 7, I would be able to finish them off. But I forgot about the fact they have... This is on your turn. So this is actually still 6. Okay. So this might be a situation where maybe it is better for me. I might try to swing first. bound in gold. Okay. Or maybe I'm going to try to swing first. See if I can get any... I'm going to definitely swing now because nothing has vigilance. So I'll definitely get a card. And then I'll just use Blood on the Snow. No blocks. And then probably, again, bring back the Nighthawk Scavenger again. And then, alright. Evolving Wilds. I'm going to hold on to the Evolving Wilds just a little bit longer. So let's swing in. I can't imagine there being something that's going to protect my opponent from a creature right now, or have a creature spell. It's going to protect it from a... give it anything indestructible for 1 green to protect from the Blood on the Snow. That's good for me. Gain some life. Draw another card. Alright, Blood on the Snow. Destroy all the creatures. Alrighty, we'll bring back the Nighthawk. And now, okay, all these triggers go on the stack, which is nice. Alright, so they're down to 8. They're probably going to play Siguarda next turn. So let's play out Ludevic now. And then, on the off chance they don't play anything, I'm going to hold on to the Evolving Wilds. And then I have the Nullpriest that I can probably convert into worst case of Gravelix. But at the moment, I would say my opponent it's not looking good for them right now. I'll be able to get, alright, Lunarch, yep, Lunarch Aspirant. Yeah, I didn't expect me to be able to draw a card with a Celestis, but I didn't want to now ruin myself. Creatures you control, +2/+2, that's fine. Can I win as is on the board? 3/3. This is Menace. Yeah, I just won the game with I'm saying I won it. Let me double check by just killing this first. I think this, I don't want to, because again, if he protects it or something like that, I don't want to just assume right away I don't need to without converting into Ludevic into something. So if he has the protection, like I was expecting, I thought there might have been a Snakeskin Veil. Totally fine. I'll just pay 1. Turn into Nullpriest of Oblivion. Good game. And just swing in now. Opponent can't block. But yeah, I've thought about using just what was on board with the Hive of the Eye Tyrant, but I'm like, let me just try to kill this first. So, Statto, thank you very much for the game. Let's go on to the next one. Alright, this hand's tough. I have the Evolving Wilds to get the black on 1, so I can play Ludevic on 2. But I'm playing against, I'm going to say Guerry, and I apologize if I'm saying that wrong. Playing Toski, Bearer of Secrets. And I already see the play pattern in my head just not going my way with this hand. Tempted to keep it anyways. Morbid Opportunist. He's going to play bigger things. I have the ramp. You know something? I'm going to give this a shot. See if this can maybe get there. They went down a card. No, they're still at 7. So, Snow-Covered Forest. Start by saying hello. Crack the... and then we'll just wait to crack the Evolving Wilds for the black. Ranger class, that's pretty good. So I'll just crack the Evolving Wilds now. So I'll have his 2/2. Get my black source, make sure I get that right. They have the 2/2. Okay, I draw a black source, that's good as well. Play out Ludevic. Do I mill anything good? Frost Trickster would have been nice on 3, but I'll take the flyer as well. So I at least have something that on 5 I can make Ludevic evasive. So now the question becomes on 3. Okay, they're going to go that route. Yeah, so this is going to be... Alright, so no blocks because I'm not losing Ludevic. Power Word Kill gets to be useful here. Let's see. It doesn't really matter what land I play now, I'd say. So I'm just going to go with the blue. Try to swing now. Alright, Agadeem's Awakening. Now I could... I would imagine they're going to play land, play Toski. That would be what I would say. So the question now becomes, I think I'm going to take the turn off. They'll draw the 1 card, but then I get to have more mana next turn. I'll have 5, so that means that I get the option of playing Morbid Opportunist with Power Word Kill. I get to play Skyclave Relic with Power Word Kill if I want to. And it's looking like my opponent's actually a little mana shy. So that's something that's good to keep in mind. Alright, Faceless Haven's good to know. I could get more aggressive right now with my opponent. Let's see, I can do Imrith maybe. As an option, I could choose, or I could just transform Ludevic now into a 5-drop. Yeah, I don't think transforming Ludevic's the right idea right now. I could go with Tergrid. Going to swing? Yeah, let's swing here. Graven Lore's gone. Okay, that's fine. And then I'll go with Imrith here. Next turn now, again, my options go up again. I could play 2 3-drops. I could try to kick the Relic to have a bigger turn next turn. I have the option of, again, turning now to have 2 5/5 flying beaters in the air. Sculptor of Winter. Alright, so I think a small board wipe would be really nice right about now. Alright, so actually I think the play here was, let's see now. Alright, blue source. Alright, so I really am getting tired of the wolf right now. So I think what I'm going to do here is I'm going to try to empty out my hand a little bit. So if I play 3, that gives me 4 mana. Doesn't work as well. Alright, and I have 6 mana. So I could do Tergrid's Lantern. And if they happen to blow that up, I get the creature now. So that's 4 and 2. Or I could draw the Morbid Opportunist. I think I'm going to go with... I like the Lantern play, honestly. So play out the Lantern. Force my opponent to sacrifice something now. I don't want to wait till their turn to use Tergrid's Lantern usually because they have an extra card in their hand. And now I'm going to swing here. Mill another card. Ah, the Crippling Fear would have been nice. That would have definitely taken care of some ills. Still draw a land. Going to kill the wolf now. And now I think I'm set up to finish off my opponent here. Again, I can transform the Ludevic. Broken Wings. Alright, so now not as good as I was hoping for. Let's see, what else we have? I can make him... I have 2 creatures? So that's a possibility. I can go with 2 creatures now. 2 mana left over. Can't bring this up to 4 yet. Alright. That's fine too. Let's get the Faceless Haven out just so I have an option of you swinging with that. And if I spend 3 now... Yeah, alright. So 1, 2, and let's say 3. I'll play out the Relic without kicker. That gives me the 5 left over. X equal to 1, right? X equal to 1, auto pay. And then let's go with Imrith Desert Doom. Alright, and there's 6. So I just have to draw another card now, which is good. Okay, so now they get to their 4, 5. They're up to 6 mana now. Alrighty. Let's see, is there anything else here I could use? Alright, Graveyard Trespasser can get that through that 1 less point of damage potentially. So that's good. I also have the Faceless Haven. They're going to play out their Wren creature here, the Tree Folk tree, equal to number of lands you control. So that kind of slows down a little bit the aggressiveness I have. Creature dies, draw a card. Creature's probably going to die. So I think I'm going to go with the Morbid. I'm going to go with Morbid here, and then I don't want to lose. If I lose the Faceless Haven, it's not the worst thing in the world. And then I feel like I have Graveyard Trespasser as well as be aggressive. So at Snow, yeah, we're going to go with the Faceless Haven play here. Because it also has Vigilance. So if they choose to somehow let that one through instead. Alright, it's blocking there. Alright, that happens there. Get to draw a card, get to draw another card. Soul Shadow doesn't do me anything good right now, but we'll play out this Hall of the Stormlord, so now I have another creature in play. So the Soul Shadow will probably get rid of one of these two. Actually, no, I have to get rid of the Wrenn and 7. So let's see, they can get 4 creatures up for the most part, one of which can block a flyer. Yeah, I maybe should have gone with the Graveyard Trespasser, as that would have been, if it says exile a creature card. So that's something that I'm going to have to definitely make sure I have her out for that. Battle Mammoth. All right. Good game. Are they conceding? Land, that's 3 mana. Druid class. That's landfall. I was a turn too late. Oh, okay, so... Alright, they don't think they got me on... Let's see. Yeah, because I had the extra creature. That's where the mistake was. Alright, Guerry, thank you very much for the game. Let's go on to the next one. I'm going to mulligan this hand because I have no blue. And while I do have removal here, I'd rather be I can't cast Ludevic on 2 like I want to. Playing against Dr. Strangelove, piloting a Mila, Crafty Companion / Luca Wayward Bonder deck. I haven't seen a lot of those, so I'm excited to see what my opponent has in store for me. Oh, wow. This is about just as bad. Alright, I mean, the Field of Ruin can help me maybe find it if they play a non-basic. But I'm going to take the mulligan again. This is more what I like. So I'm going to keep 6. And I'm going to be aggressive with my mana base. Put back the island. Let's be honest. Blood on the Snow is probably... I can't cast it anytime soon. And the Crippling Fear I can make into a one-sided wipe if I pick the right thing. Creatures of the Chosen Type. Maybe I don't play Nighthawk on 3 and then I just hose my opponent with that way, maybe. Again, depends on if my opponent is on a more creature-based thing, using Mila for stuff, or they're going to go more Planeswalker. Okay, I feel like red-white control possibly, but no, wait, not possibly. It's probably not. This is more aggressive having the Paladin class. So I'm going to start off by saying hello to the opponent, and then lead off with let's just lead off with a Command Tower so I don't actually mess up my mana later on. And then Shadow Skull Hammerbat. So yeah, that was the non-basic that would have worked. Let's get the Snow out, and let's get Ludevic online. Let's see how he fares. Alright, so 1 land is down, but that's fine, because I got plenty of lands. I got double black. Is this a Mila on 3 play? Replicating Ring. Alright, so this is probably going to be more this might be going more towards the Luca thing then, I guess. Okay, so if that's the case, then do I want to be aggressive? Yeah, we'll be aggressive. Swing here. And then also, too, worst case with the Nighthawk and, say, Crippling Fear, I can swing with the Nighthawk, I can then kill it with the Crippling Fear, and then the next turn my Ludevic into an Olag Nighthawk Scavenger. Monk of the Open Hand. Alright. Blade Historian. That's going to die. What we got here? We have a Cleric Human, Elf Monk. I have a human. So don't name human, name wizard, it looks like, for that play. Or I could just use Bloodchief's Thirst as a possibility. Nah, I'm just going to use the Crippling Fear. I think that's the right play here. Do not swing with Ludevic. He is going to die. And let's name Wizard. That way it gets rid of my opponent's creatures, and now I have a creature in the in my graveyard to turn my Ludevic into a 5/5 Olag with Lifelink, Death Touch, and Flying. Alright, so they're definitely going more of the aggressive route. So next turn for them will probably be... Or I could just kill 2 things at once. That seems like a good idea too. So we'll Infernal Grasp Mila first. So they only draws 1 card. And then we'll Bloodchief's Thirst. Actually, before I do that, let me just swing. Because if my opponent blocks, it saves me a removal spell. Graveyard Trespasser. Alright, so now we'll just get rid of that. And now I can maybe make myself into a larger creature with lifelink. Goldspan Dragon. That's a good one. Probably going to go with the play of making my stuff bigger now. I have 2 creatures in the graveyard. Power Word Kill, non-dragon. Alright, so there's the Nombo. Black, black, blue, blue. I can do 2. And I'll do the 2 creatures. So this way my creature is bigger than theirs. 1, 2. And then we'll go with the Nighthawk to copy. So I can have the life swing going for me. And, I mean, look, they're playing white. It could easily lose. The war might have been nice, but an Ulog may have easily been die in that regard. But we'll see how... What's this one? +1 for each other attacking creature and gains double strike. Still, 10 double striking is pretty insane. All right. That is nice. Ooh, Evolving Wilds. All right, you get a token, you get double strike. 16. I get him down. So I kind of gain a little. They're only really hitting me for 4 then. And I'm hitting him for 6. Alright, so I have 6 mana total. Let's swing for 6 here. I have that, and then Unwilling Ingredient doesn't seem as good. We'll just go for Burning Rune Demon here. Something that can block the Goldspan, or at least make him reconsider. So I think here I just go for some removal spells. Soul Shatter seems good. And then I guess I'm looking at Feed the Swarm? Feed the Swarm it is. And actually with Feed the Swarm, I can kind of mind game them a little bit. They give me that one because then I can just blow up the Paladin class. And this way then it's still not getting any of the benefits of being... I don't necessarily have to kill the creature. I could just make it stop getting double strike and, +1/+1. Alright, the Soul Shatter. So they can get around that by playing out... Do they have enough? They probably do at this point. So what they can do with the Soul Shatter is interesting because they can use that to get around... they can just get around it by playing their commander, which... Discard 2 and draw 3. Alright. Do they get to a removal spell? So they're not going to... let's see, 1, 2... Yeah, they could still get the commander off, I believe, because commander for them is 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5... Nope, they're 1 short unless they drew a land. So I don't think they played their land yet. Alright, so I think they're just seeing what they have. I think they're trying to get to just a removal spell. Alright, so there's the land. So the thing they got, I think, is the Unexpectedly Absent. That will definitely take care of the situation a little bit. It does not protect the Goldspan Dragon unless they play out another 5-drop. 1, 2, 3, 4. You could play 5. They could play a 6-drop here. And that would take the hit for the Goldspan Dragon. And then for each other attacking creature. Grandmaster. Great. Alright, so... I can't... Target creature can't attack or block. Okay. No blocks. I'll take the 10. Now, if he has the kill spell, then yeah. Oh, well, I goofed up then. Which I probably... Oh, Loyal Warhound. Alright, so not too bad. I don't think they get the ability off of that. So here I have to kill this. I think I could take some off too. I can play a Celestis. I can cast Soul Shatter on my opponent. This way they sacrifice him. And then I can play out an Unwilling Ingredient. And now my Olog can block. This is only a 4/4 double strike. Unwilling Ingredient will take care of that. In a pinch, I'll have to get rid of the Olog in a real pinch. But I don't think I have to worry about that at the moment. Nothing for my opponent. Well, they could probably reanimate some stuff. Again, they have the mana. If they were to use Luca, gains haste, exile at the beginning of your next end step. Creature-wise, Goldspan's the best one. I think it's going to be Moonveil. Oh, I didn't see the Moonveil Regent. Cast spell among permanent control when it dies. So who's getting the +1? Oh, they're giving it to that? X number to any target. Alright, that's fine then. Because now I have 6 in the air. And then I still have the power word kill. So that'll take care of the thing below. Alrighty. Whew. Dr. Strangelove, thank you very much for the game. Let's go on to the next one. Alrighty, and that is the video for today. Overall, the win record was 6 wins and 4 losses. So the deck was above 50%. A little bit better than I was hoping for. So really excited about it. You guys got to see it in action a bit. Thoughts on the deck? It's fun. It kind of gets annoying when the unpredictability of Ludevic milling things can be kind of annoying because you end up losing things that you actually want to keep sometimes. Like I had one game where all my removal spells against a red-green werewolf deck just kept getting, I milled like 3 removal spells. So that got to be very frustrating at times. Overall, I think the deck does fine. I think I built it pretty well, but I'd be interested in see what your thoughts would be on a Ludevic aggressive deck, or even if you're a control deck, if you have ideas, how would you take a Ludevic deck? How would you build one? I want to hear about that in the comments section. The only one I'm looking at that stands at me is Tergrid, God of Fright. Felt like she really didn't do as much as I was hoping for in the deck for the 5 cost. So I'm trying to think of, like, there's not really, trying to fix some of the issues with the milling things you don't want. There's really not like a removal spell with flashback that would be great, or I can cast from the graveyard. So that would be something that I would want to have in the deck. I think there is the blue-black card with flashback that lets me play off my opponent's top of their library. That can maybe be something to cut for the Tergrid, but then the counter argument I have for that, though it would be 5 total between the 2 castings, is that I'd rather have like a 5 cost, something that's value is actually 5 mana, like a creature or something like that, or even a good planeswalker to put in that 5 mana slot. But yeah, so what would you replace Tergrid with in deck? Let me know in the comment section down below. If you liked today's video, please click the thumbs up icon down below. If you really like what I'm doing, please consider subscribing to the channel. Help the channel grow. I would greatly appreciate it. If you like the deck list or you like the video, please share it with your friends. Have them try it out. And as always, thank you for visiting the Batcave, and have a great day.